All right, you guys, good morning. I had to do a live in regarding this. So I just seen an interview with, you know, Marcos from Fight Hub, and he did an interview with Abel Sanchez about Triple G's Hall of Fame status and if Triple G is worthy of being in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. And I got to tell you, Abel Sanchez makes a complete fool of himself, and he tells a bold-faced lie to where he embarrasses himself, and he makes a horrible comparison, which is not even a comparison. He tells a flat out lie. Now, when asked, did he think Triple G was a first ballot Hall of Famer? It was actually a response to Ryan Garcia saying that he didn't believe Triple G was a first ballot Hall of Famer. And Ryan Garcia voiced his opinion, and Marcos tried to make it look like this isn't a controversial subject when a lot of people, I got calls from trainers and professional boxers, not going to say who they are, and they saw a video that I put out where I said why I didn't think Triple G was a Hall of Fame fighter, and they agreed with me. They agree with me. They was like, hey, Tam, I agree with your assessment. I witnessed Triple G fight, and I know what Abel Sanchez said about all these 23 straight knockouts. Deontay Wilder knocked out like his first, 30 opponents? And you can holler about the quality of them or whatever the case may be. Hey, the same as you can say about Triple G. Edgar Berlanga knocked out his first 16 opponents. Arthur Beterbiev knocked out like his first 19 or 20 opponents. And they were far better quality fighters than what Triple G faced. Come on, man. You talking about Daniel Gill. You talking about David Lemieux. Come on, man. But what the kicker was, he tried to compare Triple G to Hagler and Floyd Mayweather by telling a bold-faced lie saying that Floyd Mayweather and Hagler never fought any Hall of Famers. What? Hagler's resume, win, lose, or draw. Hearns, Leonard, and Duran. Pretty much, I mean, test president over any of Triple G's first 25 opponents, damn near. Those three alone. Floyd Mayweather. He didn't fight any Hall of Famers. Marquez. Oscar De La Hoya. Sugar Shane Mosley. Miguel Cotto. Like, I mean, come on, man. Arturo Gotti. Like, what are you talking about, Abel? If you're going to make a comparison, at least have your facts in order. Those are just some of the fighters that Floyd Mayweather fought that are Hall of Famers. So come on, Abel, how could you sit up there and tell a bold-faced lie like that and make a fool of yourself? And I find it ironic, in response to Ryan Garcia. Now, he said he don't believe Ryan Garcia is a Hall of Famer, and he said Tank isn't a Hall of Famer. I would agree with that. But when him making his comparison, of course, he has to bring up two black fighters. And don't come on here talking about, oh, there you go again, race baiting. There you go again, making this about race. Now, keep in mind, Abel Sanchez made those disrespectful comments when he tried to say nobody wants to pay good money to see black fighters fight, and saying that black fighters wasn't selling and all this kind of stuff. And then, he got confronted about it. And of course, he tried to play victim, and he tried to do the misconstrued stuff and all that kind of stuff. Well, I cover a lot of fights where, Hispanics was the headliner. And those stadiums were half empty or 60% empty. So you don't want to play those type of games with me. I had to laugh. I thought that was just like, come on, man. Once again, don't sit up here and tell me, hey, Town, hey, can we not make this about race? Wait a minute. Y'all didn't say nothing when that dude made a fool of himself talking about Terrence. Are you ready to feel the Mexican power? I didn't hear nobody say, hey, man, you don't have to bring that up. You know, this isn't about tribalism or race. See, we the only ones that they try to pull that stuff with. But I mean, you know not to come on here and do that. Yes, Triple G's career is based off the fact that he tried to compare Triple G's resume to Hagler and Floyd Mayweather. That alone gave me my answer that Triple G is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. You actually tried to compare, and I'm going to tell you something else that I get sick of hearing this stuff about. Well, you know, Hagler, he never moved up. He didn't have to. I think that's great if you fight in multiple weight classes, but you're not required. You're not required. There's nothing in the boxing rule books that say you are required to move up in weight. You fight in a weight class you feel most comfortable fighting in. If you can go up in weight, then you go up. But there's no requirement saying that you have to. So when I just heard him say that I was just like, Abel, what are you doing, man? You're making a fool of yourself. You are single-handedly killing your credibility, and you're killing Triple G's credibility. Now, as far as Marcos go, Marcos was just being Marcos. He was being, you know, he was being the reporter and the journalist that he says that he is. One thing I'm not going to do is try to insult you guys' intelligence. I could give my opinion, but I'm not going to come at y'all like y'all stupid. I'm not going to say stuff just to get, you know, a whole bunch of clicks. And I don't believe in clickbaiting because that's just not good. Yeah, it can get you a lot of subscribers and get you a lot of views, and it can make you a lot of money, but I'm not going to go that direction. But just hearing Abel Sanchez to sit up there and dispute those lies, blatant lies about Mayweather and Hagler. Now, you guys already know I've criticized Floyd for some of the things he said and done outside of the ring. You know, I've questioned some things that Floyd did as an active fighter. I do think that he should have tried to fight guys like Paul Williams. I think he should have tried to fight Keith Thurman when Keith Thurman was hot and undefeated, you know, but he elected not to do it. And it is what it is. But let's not try to pretend that Floyd Mayweather wasn't trying to fight the best guys out there, because keep in mind, Floyd called all those dudes out. Now, when Floyd became Floyd Money Mayweather, different personality. But when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he called them all out, and they refused to fight him. He called Prince Nazim Hamed out. He called, you know, he had called Sugar Shane Mosley out when Sugar Shane Mosley was asked about fighting Floyd. Far before, you know, the Mayweather fight actually happened, he was talking about his tooth and all that kind of stuff. He called out Costa Zoo. Floyd tried to fight all those dudes. He called all of them out. And no, they didn't want the smoke. But for him to sit up there, like I said, and just tell a bold-faced lie, because that's just a lie. That's just a bold-faced lie to say that Hagler and Floyd Mayweather didn't fight any Hall of Famers. Abel need to stop doing interviews. And it's going to take a minute for him to live that down. Now, of course, you're going to have people that's going to protect Abel Sanchez. That's going to make excuses for him, because these are people that have, you know, a wider audience than mine. And then they know that they have this obligation to themselves, not to boxing, to put out lies and downplay some of the things that's being discussed and some of the things that's just said. because they want to keep their wide audience. So yeah, they're going to say, well, I don't think Abel Sanchez said anything that was wrong and all this kind of, like, come on, man. We got to stop it. But nevertheless, I just wanted to put that out there. Triple G never beat a pound-for-pound fighter in his life. He has 2 losses to Canelo, whether you think he won them or not. And like I said, he had a life and death fight with Daniel Jacobs, and he refused to give him a rematch. Once again, Triple G is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my humble opinion. And Abel Sanchez, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for telling a bold-faced lie.